Okay, let's do this. Bonjour everybody, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. My name is Luisa, you are watching Loulou C'est la vie, and for today's video I am going to share with you my story on how I got rid of my sugar addiction. Alright, so I can understand how this subject could be triggering for some of you, especially if you are going through an eating disorder. I just want to warn you that this video might trigger you at some point, and I would totally understand if you decided to skip this week's video. I'm all about self-preservation. So if you think that this topic is not going to work for you this week, I'm happy to see you guys next week with a lighter video on a different topic. As a disclaimer, I am not a nutritionist, a dietitian, a doctor, or a personal trainer, but I am myself. I went through my life experiences dealing with my body, my weight, but really I'm doing this video to share with you what I went through and how I got rid of a very simple sugar addiction, in the hope that some of you will recognize yourself in my story, and maybe some of my tips will help you get rid of this sugar addiction, because if you don't take control over it, it can get a lot more annoying and really have a ripple effect on your life that we all want to avoid. You know what I mean? Alright, before I get into the meat of this video, if you are enjoying the topic of this video and you see yourself coming back for more of my video, please consider subscribing to my channel. Do not leave this video without giving a big thumbs up. If you think this video can help a friend in their journey, feel free to share it with them. And don't forget to leave a little comment down below with your own experience. It can help somebody in need. And with no further ado, let's get into this video. Before I go any further into this video, I want to define with you what are the signs of sugar addiction, so we can all be on the same pace right here. We can all be on the same page. That's a better word. Okay, so according to Dr. Google and a website called addictioncenter.com, which I will link down below, they say that these are the signs of a sugar addiction. Unlike many other substance use disorder or behavioral compulsions, sugar addiction is often easy to spot. The clearest sign of sugar addiction involves consumption of a large amount of food or drink laden with sugar. The individual may eat constantly, eat to combat boredom, or become hyper and crash. They may even talk about craving sugar after stressful or irritating life experience. I personally recognize myself in every single sentence of this little paragraph here. So in this video, I am going to share with you, first of all, how I came about having this sugar addiction, the effect it had on my body, physically and mentally, and finally, I will share with you all the steps that I took. It was about a six weeks process to get rid of this annoying sugar addiction. Are you guys ready? Let's go. Now, a little bit of background about myself so you kind of know where I'm coming from. Like I said earlier, I am a fit model. I try clothes for a living. I work closely with designers on the creation of their new collection, which means that a client books me because of my body measurements, which does not leave me a lot of room to gain or lose weight. I have to be very careful on how much weight I put on or how much weight I lose. Thankfully, I am doing a job where I'm able to maintain a nice healthy weight. I am not working against my natural body weight. I'm kind of working with my natural body weight. So it's very easy for me to sustain my weight throughout the years. I, of course, throughout the years went through a lot of different variations, let's put it this way. So at times I overate and sometimes I underate. Is that English? Je ne sais pas. Sometimes I overwork out, sometimes I didn't work out enough. Thankfully, throughout the decades, right now I'm in my 4th decade, I found a balance and I found a happy middle. Now I talk in kilograms, but for every time I use kilograms, I will put right here the equivalent in pounds, okay? So for reference, I am 5'8" in height, which I believe it to be 1.74 m. And I like to weight anywhere between 61 kilogram, which I can rarely maintain for too long, and 65 kilograms, at which I don't feel good in my skin at 65, you know? So I have this like 4 kilogram window, 4 to 5 kilogram window where I know I can play with and it will not jeopardize my work, and I will feel physically and mentally good about myself. Now, I weigh myself not so often. I rather measure myself personally. I like to measure my waistline, my high hip, and my low hip, and also I like to measure my thighs. These to me are a lot more accurate in terms of body mass than my overall body weight. Now, another thing to take in consideration is that I'm French. I am used to a French/Mediterranean diet, which I pretty much cook all the time. I want to say it's like a hybrid of French Mediterranean diet. And I also practice intermittent fasting, which I understand it's not for everybody, but works very well for me. I actually was practicing this before it was a trend, I guess. What intermittent fasting brings to me is a way for me to regulate the amount of food that I eat and the quality of the food that I eat, which is key when you are trying to maintain a healthy weight. I also work out a lot. I've been working out since I am about 16 or 17 years old. I'm in my 40s now, so it's been a few years. Working out brings me a lot more than just weight watching. It also helped me stabilize my mental health and help me sustain a good level of energy throughout the day, and just keeps my body healthy. It's a lot more than just weight. At this point, it's a lifestyle. And the few times that I stopped working out for a long period of time, it was hard. Mentally, it was hard. So I know that working out is part of my life for life. So that's a little bit of a background about who I am, where I come from, so you have a better idea of the type of person that I am. I don't believe that I ever really developed an eating disorder. Maybe bad eating habits, but never an eating disorder. All right, my love. So how did I go about getting this annoying sugar addiction? Well, what had happened was earlier this year, my husband and I decided to go through IVF to try to conceive our second child. It's been a journey. It's a subject for another video. Let me know in the comment section if you want me to share this with you. It's heavy, but I can share. I think I can share it. Anyways, we went through the first round and everything went well. And then I felt like I was rushed into going to the second round. And I was, at the end of the first round, my body needed time to recover. I did not give my body that time. And I started the second round of IVF right after that. And the consequence of that is my body was like, what the heck are you doing? And I got sick. I caught a virus, which was not the coronavirus because I tested negative, and I've had the coronavirus a couple times at this point, and being vaccinated and boosted 100 times for this annoying virus, my body, like it's at this point, corona feels like a annoying cold, you know. This felt like a virus that was kicking my butt. This felt like my body did not have the resource to fight this annoying virus. I was in bed for about a solid week, 10 days, and I was physically, mentally, and financially drained. And to be honest, I also felt like my hormones were out of whack, and I saw myself craving food at time where I would usually not be craving food, and this feeling wouldn't go away. At this point of my journey, I am not able to tell you if this was a repercussion, a consequence, or symptom of going through IVF, or if it was linked to my mental state of mind, of me looking for comfort because I was going through a hard time in my life. I don't know. What I can tell you is what I experienced was a craving for food at a time where I don't usually crave, and I believe that this is what led me to a sugar addiction. So pretty much, how did I get there? I had 2 rounds of IVF, well, 1.5, because the second one I got sick, I was not able to finish it. I was emotionally distressed, and I found comfort in food, and more particularly sweets. I started to let go of my habits, and I'm starting eating more sugar throughout the day for an extended period of time. And before I knew it, I found myself craving sugar and being hungry all the time. And really, it felt like an addiction where all I could think about was what type of sugar was I going to eat next? Where's the chocolate bar? Where is the cookie? Where is my favorite biscuits are Lou? I'll put a picture right here. And I was pretty much raised with those, and I was so happy when I found them in America. And they've been my treat once in a while. I have a couple of those, and they usually last me like a few days, and it's fine. I was going through packs and packs of them. I realized that I was having a problem when I went through 2 of them within less than an hour, and I went to put them in the recycled trash. I opened the trash and I saw all the boxes of candies and my daughter's snacks that I ate. All of those sweet stuff. My trash was just full of them, and I realized I had a problem at this point, and that I needed to address that problem. As far as my weight, it went from a 61-62 kilogram to a 66 kilogram. So that's like a solid 5 kilogram extra weight. And trust me, it was not muscle mass. So knowing the job that I do and how important it is for me to maintain my weight within that 5 kilogram range, I was right at the top of my 5 kilogram, and I really needed to take action before I was gonna gain too much weight. All right, so here are the steps that I did. The first week, I observed myself. I took note of what was going on. I wanted to see when during the day I was craving the sweets the most. I wanted to see how much I could eat, how far I could go. I also took note on my workouts and how much energy I really had during those workouts. Was I able to sustain that energy? Was I crashing? At what moment throughout the day was I crashing? I also took note of my intermittent fasting and what was I doing with that. So I want to say the first 4 days of week 1, I was really observing myself. I was allowing myself to go as far as I wanted, and I was putting together a plan of action in my head that would slowly get me out of this situation without beating myself up. Because I was like, the reason why I got here is because I was emotionally, tired. I needed comfort, and the last thing I wanted to do is blame myself or put even more burden on my mental health. You follow me? By the end of week 1, I slowly started implementing a little bit more healthy food just before I ate my sugar. So instead of reaching for sugar first. I would reach for healthy food first, and then I will allow myself the sugar. That was week 1. Observe and make very small changes. Just one little change, baby steps. And then came week 2. I started by really implementing my intermittent fasting, but not something too harsh. For me, an easy intermittent fasting is a 8-16, which means that I will eat for an 8-hour window and I will fast for a 16-hour window. This is my level. Everybody's different. If you're interested in intermittent fasting, I will link a video right there for you. There are different eating windows that are easy, that go from super easy to very intense. I'm right there in the middle. For me, a 8-16 is my beginner level. For me, okay, not everybody's different. So I started to implement my 8-16 again, nice and easy. I starting to work out a little bit more with the thought process that if I am eating more sugary calories, I am going to burn more calories. Instead of going to the gym 2 to 3 times a week, I started going to the gym 3 to 4 times a week. So I really, week 2, I was like, let's tune it up a little bit. Let's be a little bit more strict on the fasting. And I implemented even more healthy food into my sugary diet. Week 2, I was starting to slowly get in control. Each day doing a little bit more. Now, don't get me wrong. There were days where I couldn't maintain it. But I would always get back on track and make sure that the next day was better than the day before. I praise myself every time I was able to do something positive, like eating healthy before eating junk. I was like, you go girl, you finished your plate today, now you can go have your sugar. What I noticed, what the positive things was, every day I was eating a little bit more healthy food, but unfortunately I was still craving sugar. Sugar was still very heavy on my mind, and I was looking for the next fix throughout the day. And I didn't feel satiated. I was still hungry at the end of my meals. So that was week 2, damage control, taking a little bit more control over my health, but still not quite there yet. Then came week 3. Now, week 3 is the one that I called go hard. I switched my intermittent fasting a notch up, and I went from an 8-16 to a 6-18, which means that I am shortening my eating window to 6 hours a day, and I'm increasing my fasting window to 18 hours a day. Again, big disclaimer, not for everybody. I've been practicing intermittent fasting for years now, so I'm very comfortable with the concept, and my body is very used to it. So I know I'm not gonna have a drastic reaction, and I'm not gonna put my body into shock, okay? The goal here is to really take baby steps to get to a healthy and sustainable diet and lifestyle. So I'm increasing my intermittent fasting to a 6-18. As far as my workout, again, I go up a notch. I'm going 4 to 5 times a week. And as far as my diet, on week 3, I decided to add a lot more protein to my diet, which for me is what really helped me with the feeling of being hungry all the time. When you eat sugar all the time, you never feel full, okay? It's really hard to feel hungry after you eat a big fat steak or half a chicken. You know, it's hard. Like, I don't know about you, but when I eat a burger, I'm full. There's no sugar going in after that. You feel disgusted by anything else. And so I implemented meat in my diet every day at every meal. And at this point with my intermittent fasting, I only had 2 solid meals throughout the day, so it was not a lot, but On a regular, on a healthy normal meal like today, I would not eat meat every day at every meal. I would eat meat every other day, or if every day, only at one meal, you know. I don't feel the craving, I don't feel the need, but when I do feel the craving or the need for meat, I indulge, you know. So I practice a lot of intuitive eating, I think, but that's another video. It's also so yes, on week 3 it was go hard, and I added protein to my diet, which increased my feeling of satiation, of not feeling hungry anymore, and it really gave a big kick in the ass to that sugar addiction. And I really felt a difference by the end of week 3. I was also about 2.5 kilograms down from where I was supposed to be. So that's halfway through my journey, right? Now week 4 to 6, I call them Be Consistent. It's really a matter of maintaining this for a few weeks. I'm not saying forever, because it's an intense level. I'm working out 4 to 5 times a week. I have a small eating window. Bon, I have a good diet, I have to say, but you know, you're not going to be able to maintain that and a normal lifestyle for too long. You know, it's not the goal here. I'm trying to fix a problem, and from there I want to have a healthier lifestyle, or go back to my healthy lifestyle. So week 4, 5, and 6, it's all about maintaining this rhythm for as long as possible. Week 6 for me was more like enjoy the results. Enjoy the fruit of your hard labor. All right, I had to change batteries. Where was I? By the time I reached week 6, I was back at my original weight of 61 to 62 kilograms. I was exactly at 62.25 kilograms actually. And I felt so good in my mind, in my body. I had a good energy level. With all the protein I was eating and all the workout I was doing, I had some crazy abs. I was so in love. Even my arms were like, bam! Like, I was happy with what I had. And I call week 6 the enjoy the result weeks, because really, I was pretty proud of myself. As far as my sugar addiction, I was very, very happy, because I was able to buy my favorite biscuits, and after eating 3 of them, I didn't want any more. You know, I was fine. I could close the pack, put it back in the cabinet, whatever you call this thing, the pantry, whatever. And I was feeling satiated. I had my little sugar fix, and I could move on with my day. And that was that. And that's all I wanted to get back to, like a normal little sugar craving. And thank you, goodbye, you know? So that was pretty much, let me double check I said everything. No more binge eating, more energy, more muscle mass. I'm back to my original weight. That was week 6. You guys, it felt so good. I learned so much throughout this journey. What can I tell you from this journey? I learned a lot about myself. I was just really happy to be able to take a step back and observe myself as if I was a spectator of my life, instead of being in it and be like, oh my gosh, this is happening to me. It's more like, wait a minute, this is happening. How can I fix this? First of all, what is happening? You know, like that was week 1. Like, what's going on here? Observing. And then taking baby steps instead of going all in right away like I would have done in my 20s or early 30s. I was like, let's change this first, and then we'll change that. And then week 2, okay, now that we've changed a few things, I'm confident that I can put it up a notch a little bit. And then week 3, okay, now I'm all in. Now week 3, I'm all in. And I was able to maintain that for about 3 weeks after that. By week 6, I was back to normal. You know? So my advice to you is step back and observe, take baby steps, And be gentle with yourself. Life happens to us. Let's try not to use food or any other substance as a way to escape it, but maybe go through it just as it is. That's the hardest part, I think. But it will save us a lot of sweats and tears and extra weight. That's all I have for you guys today. I hope this video was helpful for some of you. I hope you were able to take a few tips from my experience. I hope it didn't trigger any of you. And if it did, I'm sorry, that was not the goal of this video. And then that's that. You know, I think I said everything I needed to say. All right, my loves, I'm all said and done with this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. I will see you guys next week with a new video. Until then, my love, stay happy, stay healthy, have a beautiful life. Au revoir et à bientôt.
Hey, c'est la vie.